I will request everyone to take their seats.
Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat at welcome po sa anniversary, 123rd anniversary ng Department of Agriculture beamed nationwide and global. Maraming salamat po sa nanonood ngayon sa ating DA Facebook Live in the Philippines and other parts of the world. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Francis?
Good morning, boss. Ako po si Frances from DA Stratcom, standing in for Assistant Secretary Christine Evangelista, who's on travel.
Okay. So again, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome our personalities at the table. Secretary William Dar, sir. Yusek Cheryl Marie Caballero. Yusek Zamzamin Ampatuan. Yusek Ariel Kayanan. ASEC Arnel de Mesa. And our guest, other ASEC, DBP, and all other officials of the Department of Agriculture, friends, partners, ladies and gentlemen, maganda pong umaga sa ating lahat. So, to begin our program, we'd like to ask Undersecretary Cheryl Marie Caballero for the ecumenical prayers, along with Datu Amar Yazir Baragir.
Let us bow our heads and invoke the presence of our Lord. Prayer for the 123rd anniversary of the Department of Agriculture. Heavenly Father, we thank you for giving us this blessing to celebrate the momentous occasion of the 123rd anniversary of the Department of Agriculture. At this special event, we lift, O Lord, our Secretary, and all the employees of the department, that we may continue to serve you with utmost respect. Lord, we also lift up those who are here who contributed to the evolution, success, and betterment of this vital agency all throughout its 123 years in helping the poor, marginalized sector, as well as in feeding the entire nation. We thank you, Lord, for giving us this opportunity to serve and contribute in nation building, providing food in the table, and uplifting the economic conditions of our countrymen, particularly the smallholder farmers and fishers in these most trying times. Today, O Lord, we pray for your mercy, for our colleagues and countrymen who suffer and lost their loved ones and livelihood during these trying times. May you always guide them and give them hope and more strength. May you continue to shower us with your courage, patience, direction, and comfort, and that we may greatly need this during these challenging times as we pray for wisdom. As we move forward, O Lord, bless us with willpower and determination so that we will continue to uphold integrity and trust and duty to serve to our farmers, fisher folks, and all our partners in the industry. Make us your true servants, O Lord, now and forever. In Jesus' name, amen.
Let us humble ourselves in the presence of the Almighty. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم وإذ قال ربكم ادعوني استجب لكم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. O Allah, let these seeds be productive, blessed. Feed us from the produce in safety and to our full satisfaction. Let these seeds produce so much that the produce be piled up in heaps. Do not deprive us from that which we seek and desire, nor put us to test and trial by allowing us to enjoy abundant produce for the sake of Muhammad and his progeny. O Maker of hearts and souls, O Turner of night and day, O changer of circumstances and situations, change our hearts and change our situations into the best of situations. Allahumma ij'alhu hardan mubarakan warzuqna fihi salamati wat tamama waj'alhu habban mutarakiban ولا تحرمني خير ما أبتغي ولا تفتني بما متتعني بحق محمد وآله الطاهرين يا مقلب القلوب والأبصار يا مدبر الليل والنهار يا محول الحال والأحسال حالنا إلى أحسن الحال برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين وبحق محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين آمين.
Ladies and gentlemen, kindly remain standing for the singing of the national anthem.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Maraming salamat po. Let's proceed.
Now, may we invite you to listen to our DA hymn.
Katuwang ng mga magsasaka,
Kabangon. Yan po, kaninang umaga, nag-open tayo ng exhibit, Francis, dyan sa baba, 8:30 kanina. Yung pong after that, may mga photo essay doon, at yung mga banderitas yung pala, yung mga picture ng mga milestoners natin.
Yes, and the loyalty awardees po, sir.
Yan, yan.
Kilala niyo po sila lahat, sir?
Hindi naman lahat, pero kaibigan natin, karamihan sa kanila. At ako'y nandito rin nung mga nakaraang taon, mga dekada pala. Dekada rin, nandito ako. Ikaw bata ka pa dito, pero...
Hindi ko nga po generation yun.
Second return of the comeback. Ayan ba ang tawag nila. So again, ladies and gentlemen, to open and our festivity, our event for today, let us welcome Undersecretary for Regulations in Infrastructure, the Chairman of the National Steering Committee of the 103rd DE Anniversary, no less than Undersecretary Samin Ampatuan.
Magandang umaga sa inyong lahat. I be allowed to remove my mask para hindi stifled yung boses ko dahil stifled ang ating celebration. Talagang kailangan nating mag-ingat ng todo. Anyhow, I would like to pay courtesies to our beloved Secretary Manong Willie Dar, Dr. William Dar, the servant leader and the one who is guiding DA for the past 2.5 years. And my fellow undersecretaries, the senior undersecretary of this department, Engineer Ariel Kayanan, Undersecretary for Operations, and our beauteous Undersecretary. I would say kasi wala naman dito si Ma'am Evelyn physically. Nandyan siya sa online, si Undersecretary Evelyn. Ma'am, nandyan ka, alam ko, pero pasensya na po, ang pinakamagandang Undersecretary namin ngayon, si Ma'am Ching Caballero. At kanina, parang nag-iisa na rin lang ang ASEC na nandito. Okay. At tama nga pala, no? Yung ating, kumbaga sa age, itong Senior Undersecretary. USEC RB. And sa mga ASEC natin, kanina nakita ko si ASEC Lisa Batad. ASEC for Regulations. Ma'am Lisa, andyan ka, no? Sana siya. And ASEC Lasiste, ito yung ating Inspector General. Mag-ingat na po yung mga nagloloko sa ating mga project. Nagbabantay ang ating General, ASEC Lasiste. Sino pang ASEC na nandito? Bakayo? ASEC Bakayo. Jane, yes, nandyan. Galing ng Davao, kapitbahay. At yung ating mga directors, lahat halos, I'm sure more of them, lots of them are online. Yung mga bureau directors, mga head ng attached agencies, at yung mga nasa regional offices, mga regional executive directors. At yung mga ating rank and file, pasensya na po, dyan na tayo nagkikita online. Naka-FB Live tayo, ayon kay ASEC Noel Reyes at ni Francis. Kanina sinabing naka-online tayo at sigurado sama-sama pa rin tayo kahit na may mga limitasyon. Well, this is a celebration and we're just recalling that, ASEC, anang DPWH ba ito? DBP, yes sir. Manny Herbosa. Welcome sir. And thank you for attending our celebration physically. One of our key partners. And yes, indeed, that was more than a century ago, 1898. We can very well remember the year that our founding fathers sowed the seeds of a unified national government agency. Our national government was founded to pave a way for a republic in Southeast Asia. Among the fruits of the founding of the Republic of the Philippines that we reap today more than ever is the establishment of an agency that support the industriousness and entrepreneurial spirit of the Filipinos. And now, we have the Department of Agriculture to secure the blessings of progress and freedom for a new nation. Today, more than a century later, the Department of Agriculture reasserts its strong commitment to that cause and invokes the same founding spirit to achieve higher objectives. In the modern times, the changes that we as a nation have to face is different from that which our forefathers overcame. But nonetheless, the solution remains the same. We have to be united. Our efforts as one department must be united in promoting and securing the progress and stability of our national agriculture, for it will serve as a pillar supporting the independence of our beloved country. This past year, the agriculture sector and the nation as a whole have faced one crisis after another, kicked off by series of massive typhoons, flash floods, disease, drought, pest infestation, and volcanic eruption. Many parts of the food supply chain were in disarray. Some were completely destroyed. On top of it, we were struck by one of the most catastrophic health crises in modern history. Quarantines and lockdowns had made tough lives for our farmers and workers. This is tough times indeed to celebrate amidst these challenges and crises. Nonetheless, we have to celebrate, and we must, as we try to win away the difficulties we are facing. Today's celebration of our 123rd anniversary is a simple one. It's modest. Well, as you can see it, we are quite few here physically, but everyone else is joining online. There are given limitations imposed by health protocols to minimize the spread of the COVID-19 virus and its variants. But we made sure it reflects the struggles and endeavors over the years of the men and women of this great institution of governance, which concluded in our current achievements. Agriculture is floating while other sectors are struggling. This is concluded by an achievement under the leadership of the servant leader, Secretary of Agriculture, Manong Willie Dar. Palakpakan po natin ang ating kagalang-galang na sekretary. This is despite the serious challenges we faced. This is a celebration that emphasizes the message for the need for us to work as one, through thick and thin, to do more and to do better. We tried to show in this celebration the old elements of the culture of joyfulness. Well, we have kulintang players around. That was the olden time way of expressing joy. And we also tried to reflect the industry of the Filipino farmer and fisher folk. Of course, we always question the DA would like that agriculture be modernized and leveled up to greater heights. The organizing committee, myself, the team, the undersecretaries that work with us, of course, ASEC Noel is key to this. We would like to ask for your understanding if we fail to capture your desired mood for a momentous celebration. We used to have live bands, we have parties till midnight, but we cannot do that this time. Well, we all wanted to be happy during this time of our celebration. This is mid-year Christmas for DA, but we can't do it as we like it to be. We have to wait till times are better. And you know, this limitation, you know very well the reason why we have a stifled celebration today. What makes this simple celebration a success is how we treat it, even as it is simple. We should be able to bring together ourselves in this day of celebration. We should be one DA working behind one genuine, wonderful leader. Please take note of the spelling. This is wonderful leader. We hope that our celebration generates the innate desire for a committed service to the Filipino nation. supporting farmers, fisher folks, agribusiness, and everyone in the agriculture sector, such that we are able to attain the goal for food secure Philippines, as always emphasized by Manong Willie Dar. We celebrate and we are thankful that we are given the chance to be part of the OneDA team led by a world-class agri-technocrat, Secretary of Agriculture, Dr. William Dar. Let us thank ourselves and those who work with us and ask forgiveness of God for our shortcomings these past years. And we thank our President, Rodrigo Duterte, for giving us Manong Willie, who offered himself as a loyal servant of our nation and a genuine leader of all of us at DA and the agriculture sector. Sir, your clear vision and strategies steered us through the gloom of this pandemic and the major challenges we faced. Congratulations to the key achievers of DA and those who had served the longest. Yung mga tumatanda na po sa DA, congratulations po. You did well. You did a lot of good to this agency. To the new ones, mga katulad namin na mga baguhan, mga bagito rito sa OneDA family, we keep our service as honest as possible, as loyal to the nation as possible, and fit well and be part of the work of the culture of dynamism, productivity, and patience in this department. Sa puntong ito, I would like to congratulate everyone and thank God that we reached this 123rd anniversary. Mabuhay ang bagong Pilipinas, mabuhay ang OneDA, sa patuloy na pagkakaisa, mabuhay ang mga magsasaka, mangingisda, at mga kaagapay ng agrikultura. May the greater force of the universe be with us. Thank you.
Thank you, Yusek Sam Ampatuan. Yan po. We'd like to acknowledge the presence of our friend, very close friend, President CEO of Development Bank of the Philippines, Mr. Emmanuel Manny Herbosa.
Morning, sir, and welcome.
Also, the President of Rural Bankers Association of the Philippines, Ms. Lisa Timbol.
Morning, ma'am.
Magandang umaga po. Maraming salamat po. So,
So as Yusek Ampatuan mentioned earlier, 123 years on, we are still working and we are trying to modernize the sector even amid the pandemic. So true to form po, tuloy pa rin ang kagawaran sa pagsusulong ng mga inklusibong programa at proyekto, gaya na lamang ng ating flagship program na Plant, upang mapaunlad ang mga sektor ng saka at mga isda. One of the highlights of this celebration is the launching of the RSBSA Farmers ID Card. RSBSA po, ibig sabihin, Registry System for Basic Sectors in Agriculture. So this is an important step towards digitalization.
tama yan, Francis. Milestone din po ito kasi mauuna pa tayo sa National ID System. Ang mga farmers po, yan po ang hatid sa atin ng Department of Agriculture, hatid sa atin ng President Rodrigo Duterte, and of course, Secretary William Dar. Mauuna tayo sa National ID System. Ito po, papakita natin. So, again, let's welcome ang ating bossing dito sa RSBSA system, at no less than Engineer Arnel de Mesa, Assistant Secretary for Operations. Mr. Colonel.
Thank you, Asek Noel and Frances. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Una, pagbati sa ating servant leader, our Honorable Secretary, Dr. William D. Dar, all the undersecretaries and assistant secretaries, our honored guest, President and CEO of the DBP, President Emmanuel Herbosa, and President Liza Timbol of the Rural Bankers Association of the Philippines. And definitely, congratulations po sa Department of Agriculture and all our magigiting na mga kawani ng kagawaran ng pagsasaka. Magandang umaga po. Truly, it has been a long time ever since our department has been established to provide services and interventions to our primary stakeholders, our farmers and fishers. Every year, just like the previous years, the DA continue to go above and beyond in providing services to our stakeholders, making sure that is given in the most efficient and timely way. This year, through the leadership of our Secretary, the department and the sector embraced digitalization with the introduction and launching of the DA Interventions Monitoring Card, or DA IMC, as shown in the screen right now. This is a unique identification card which will not only serve as an ID but also a cash card where interventions of the department can be coursed through. With the DAIMC, it will now be possible to track and monitor the services and interventions being provided to our farmers and fishers. This will not be possible without the unending support of our dear Secretary and our undersecretaries and our partner from the government financial institution, the Development Bank of the Philippines, President and CEO Sir Manny Herbosa, Senior Vice President Owen Maramag, Senior Vice President Madeline Aldana, Senior Vice President George Inocencio, Assistant Vice President Jeanette Kilit, and ito po ay walay pabor-pabor ang ating butihing Assistant Vice President Ralen Verdadero. Special mention ka. Siyempre, kasama rin ang ating presidente ng Rural Bankers, again, Madam President Liza Timbol. Thank you for your continued partnership with our department in providing innovative solutions and means to our services. And now, we will be launching the first batch of the IMC to our rice farmers who shall be beneficiaries of the RCEP Rice Farmers Financial Assistance Program, which will be given this October 2021. So ito po yung mga mauna at kaagapay po muli natin ng DBP sa paggawa po nito. Ultimately, this card shall also be available to other agri-stakeholders from other programs and projects other than rice. So ladies and gentlemen, we are now presenting the DA IMC card na ilo-launch po natin today. Muli po, magandang umaga at maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat, ASEC Arnel de Mesa. Po.
So para po sa kapakanan ng mga magsasaka at mangingisda na naka-tune in po sa Facebook page natin. Sir, paano po ba mag-register para sa isang RSBSA card?
Ayan po, ang ating Municipal Agriculture Officer po ang nauuna dyan, barangay. Siyempre pupunta po sila, may designated areas po dyan sa Mao. At yun po, doon po magpapan. Napakasimple lang mga itatanong dyan. Yan po naman, yan, kagaya yan. Template lang po yan, no? At ating merong QR code yan. So, maganda ito dahil kauna-unahang ID talaga. Matagal lang gusto na ni Secretary na magkaroon talaga RSBSA. So ito, naumpisa na po. Maliban sa rice, sabi nga, may corn at coconut ginagawa na. At sa fisher folk din sa BIFAR. So ayan, maraming application yan. At madali yan dahil yung ayuda, dito na po. Parang ATM na rin yan. Diyan na po pupunta yan. Yan, okay? At
Ilang po ayuda, pati po yung ibang mga assistance ng DA.
yes, tama ka.
Fertilizer, seed distribution.
Yes. So, again, maybe call in for the sealing, forging of the memo agreement as a kernel. How will we do it?
May we call on Secretary
Signatories?
William Dar and the officials of the Development Bank of the Philippines.
President and CEO Emmanuel Herbosa, DBP, EBP Susan Prado. Sino pa nandito ngayon? Yes, okay. Lisa Timbol. Yan po. Yung mga witnesses po, ang mga user CASEC for the memo signing. Kasama po Secretary William Dar, President Herbosa of DBP, Susan Prado of DBP, Paul Lazaro of DBP, Tony Owen Maramag of DBP, Maria Lourdes Arsenas of DBP, si Lisa Timbol of our World Bankers Association, Kasama sa picture po, andito si Yusek Arby, Yusek Ching, Yusek Sam, Asek Arnel, Asek Jane. Kagaya po ng sinabi natin kanina at sinabi ni Asek Arnel, kauna-unahan po ito.
Sige, after na. Habang pumipirma po ang ating officials and DBP, ay tatawagin po natin yung tatlong beneficiaries po natin, dalawang beneficiaries po natin dito po sa stage para po symbolically ay matatanggap po nila yung ID card na nilagyan po natin na ng laman para po pag-uwi nila ay meron po silang dala. 5,000 each po yung laman, initial laman ng ID card courtesy of the Department of Agriculture. Regalo po yan ni Secretary William Dar para po sa atin. Ma'am Ralen, you wish to introduce yung ating dalawang IPs, farmers? Yes. Regalo ni Secretary, mga kasama po na. Yes, 5,000 pesos. Ma'am Ralen, can you introduce them, please?
Dito po kayo sa harap, Huwag po kayo mayan. Napakaganda ng inyong kasuotan. Mamaya po, sorry.
We would like to emphasize that the start po ng release ng rice farmers financial assistance will be by October of this year. Yun po yung ating start. Yes. Yung release po ng pondo galing sa RFFA.
Ang tatanggap po muna dito sa kanan si Cheryl Navarra ng Antipolo Rizal at si Miss Leonora de la Cruz naman ng Vera Nay. Congratulations po. Po natin Neda Cuevas ng President ng Squid Pay. Tama? Kasi photo op lang po itong signed memorandum partnership between the DA among the DA, Department of Agriculture, Development Bank of the Philippines, Rural Bankers Association of the Philippines. Yan po, another partner, Squid. Okay, palakpakan po natin ang ating pasinaya dito sa MOA signing. Maraming salamat po. So, again, to hand over the ID, Ralen. Ma'am Cheryl, Ma'am Leonora, dito po kayo sa harap. Yung ID. Ano pa?
Hello, yes. The next part po of the program after pagkatapos po mapirmahan ng MOA ay ang actual demonstration po ng pag-i-issue po ng cards sa atin pong mga kasamahan. So, tinatawagan ko na ang SPT, please, to lead the demonstration. Ang mangyayari po ngayon is this is the actual, that is what's going to happen on the field. They're going to onboard our farmers on site and print the cards also on site. So, medyo may konting tweaking lang kasi nga po medyo late yung, masyadong mabilis po yung pangyayari. Pero yung actual pong mangyayari sa field, halos ito po yung magiging experience po ng atin pong mga farmers.
Sekdar, magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. Mag-i-explain lang po ako nung napag-usapan po na proseso. Ako po pala si May Cuevas, ang namumuno po ng Squid Pay. So, we will give you a demonstration of how the onboarding and the disbursement of the financial assistance of Department of Agriculture. Ikwento ko na lang, Sec, no? Baka medyo malayo, hindi nyo nakikita, and President Herbosa and Ma'am Lisa. Unang-una po, dalawa po yung ating main process. Yung unang portion po is the onboarding. So basically, kukunan po kasi natin ng personal information, yung tinatawag natin na electronic know your customer, or simply put, that's the EKYC. So this is very much in line with the digital roadmap of the BSP. So umpisa po, may onboarding, and then of course, the disbursements. Okay. Sa onboarding po, kami po sa Squid Pay is what you call an electronic wallet. So, ang gagawin po namin, so the Department of Agriculture has the RSBSA registry. So, I think at this point, kinukuha na po ng regional offices yung data. And napag-usapan po ni Ma'am Ona or Ma'am Lorna na ibibigay na rin po itong listahan sa LGU para siguraduhin tama po yung information. From there, ibibigay po sa amin sa Squid Pay. Of course, meron po tayong data sharing agreement, so hindi po tayo lalabag sa Data Privacy Act. From there, we will open an account. So similar to banks, we will open an electronic wallet for the farmer. This list will be given to the Department of Agriculture. From there, they will compile the list and now cascade it down to the regional offices, and maybe in some cases together with the MAO or the Municipal Agriculture Officer. Pagdating po doon, ito na po yung actual. So hawak na po ng regional office yung listahan or yung MAO. Next slide. Ay, sorry, Ling. Okay. Ang gagawin naman po nila, tatawagin na po yung farmers. O mga farmers, baba na po kayo para mabigyan na po kayo ng inyong identification. Sabi po kanina ni ASEC, ito po yung card na unique sa DA. So the card now will go through what we call the verification process or the electronic KYC. So basically, meron pong OCR capture. Dapat may ID po ang ating farmer at the very least, sa barangay certificate. And kukunan po siya ng selfie. Ano po to, Sec? Para walang ghost farmers na nasa listahan natin. Actual identification. So habang kinuha na yung mga farmers, so there's one check already, the MAO or the regional field officers of DA are on site. Habang nakapila, ini-interview na nila yung farmers at tinitingnan yung dokumento. So from there, papakita po namin in a short while from the screen of an actual phone. And simultaneously, ito po yung hiniling ng DBP at ng Department of Agriculture. On the same day, makukuha na ng farmer ang kanilang ID. Okay? Pag nakuha na po yung ID, of course, the list now, so ngayon, matatanggal na po natin yung problemang buhay ba yung farmer, nag-i-exist ba yung farmer, then our system will also what we call deduplicate. Hopefully, matanggal ho namin, baka doble. So wala na ho tayong, so malaliveness check, yun po yung papakita namin. So this list will go back to the DA through DBP, and that list now will be the basis of disbursement. So, at that point, yung listahan po natin na linis, na buhay, totoong may farmer, na nakita, nakuhanan ng totoong picture. Okay ba? Okay. Tumatango si Sir. Very good. Last step. Ito na. Sa October, mag-uumpisa na po tayo ng disbursement. So, base dun sa listahan, ang DBP naman po, gagawa na po ng schedule together with DA para po ma-inform na yung mga farmers. Actually, yung farmers, nakuha na nila yung card, di ba? At this time, ilo-load na namin yung wallet. Masama man sa loob ko, ang kilala ngayon na electronic wallet, si GCash. Tama po ba? Lalaki ho tayo sa GCash dahil automatic 1.5 million farmers po tayo ngayon. Sino ho ang walang GCash? Okay, so gets nyo yun. Ilo-load natin. So DBP through SquidPay, lalagyan na nung distance. So kung nasa bahay si farmer at may anak siya o kahit siya, meron siyang Android phone or Apple phone or tablet or computer, pwede na, hawak na niya yung pera electronically. Okay. Ngayon si farmer, walang electronic device, kailangan ng actual cash, doon naman po papasok ang ating kaibigan na si Ma'am Lisa Timbol at nakakalat naman po sa bansa ang ating mga rural banks. So ngayon, medyo sigurado tayo, bangkong pinanggagalingan. So si farmer naman po, pupunta sa bangko, but on top of that, meron pa rin po kaming mga ibang partners na pwede puntahan ni farmer. So from there, masaya na po si farmer, makukuha na po niya yung financial assistance at sasagana ang ating ani sa Pilipinas. Yun lang po. So at this point, I'd like to call our SquidPay team para ipakita na po sa inyo ano ba yung mga selfie-selfie na yan, tsaka face match.
Hi, thank you so much, Ma'am May. So, hello po sa inyong lahat. Good morning po. My name is Hannah, and with me is Sir Jason. Sir Jason will be acting as our EKYC specialist, and we will be the ones to guide you throughout the whole demonstration process. All right, so we don't want to waste too much of your time, so let's begin na po. Okay, so what you're seeing right now on the screen, once you've opened the app, it will show you two options. The first one is the onboarder login, and the second one is the merchant login. So right now, what we will demonstrate is the onboarder login po. So of course, the onboarder needs to enter his registered mobile number as well as his password. And as soon as he enters his password po, he will receive a 4-digit one-time PIN or what we call an OTP. So, yun po, i-code lang natin ng OTP natin. This is a multi-factor authentication which ensures everyone na there's only a specific personnel who can onboard farmers po. Okay, so next is the farmer verification na po. So, to help us with this steps po, may we call on our colleagues to help us po. May we call on the following people, Ms. Leonora Veran and Ms. Cheryl Navaira.
So ito na po yung farmers natin.
Hello
Very
po, ma'am.
gender sensitive, dalawang babaeng farmers. Mabuhay po kayo.
Okay. So, good morning po sa inyo, ma'am. Sino po, ma'am, si Ms. Leonora? So, earlier po, di ba po, nabigyan po tayo ng papel na nakalagay po yung SquidPay account number nyo po and yung RSBSA number po. Tama po ba? Okay, Ma'am Leonora, start po tayo sa inyo po. Okay, so pwede po bang mahiram po muna yung papel na binigay po sa inyo? Ay, salamat po. And now we will call Ma'am Jo. She will act as our MAU to verify po if tama po yung account details or account numbers that was given to us by Ma'am Leonora. So Ma'am Jo, tama po ba? Nagre-reflect po ba yan sa listahan niyo po? Okay, so it was confirmed by MAU, that all the information is correct. So we can now hand over the ID, or rather, the account details to our EKYC specialist. So right now, what Sir Jason is doing is entering his account, the SquidPay account number, as well as the RSBSA number. So yung SquidPay account number po natin, RSBSA number, it consists of 14 digits po. Alright, so next po, once it has been entered, we just have to click on check validity. And then, ipapakita po sa inyo kung anong klaseng ID type. So these are the options for the ID type. So ang binigay po ni Ma'am Leonora is a TIN ID. So Sir Jason, kindly click on it, and then please enter the ID number. Alright, click on next. So ang next naman po is we will take a photo of that ID card. So our system has a what we call an optical character recognition po. So it is able to pick up and identify data from the card, and it is able to send that to our system po. So as you can see on the screen, it was successfully read by our system. So we can move that forward now. You may close it. And then the next step would be to capture a live photo po. So Ms. Leonora, can you please move forward po to our EKYC specialist? And can we, Sir Jason, you
Ano
may...
po, yung picture po, pag nakikita nyo yung bilog na pula, ibig sabihin hindi pa tama yung positioning. So, check, isa po to sa kasama sa proseso ng liveness check. So, kailangan tao talagang nakaharap.
Ay ma'am, pwede po patanggal muna po ng mask natin. Ma'am, harap lang po muna tayo, circle. So as you can see now, the outer linings have turned green. So that means that the system is able to read her face po, or her facial features. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, it says that verification status success. Meaning po, yung the photo that we took of the ID matches the face or the live photo that we took earlier po. Alright, so next. What is being shown right now on the screen is yung basic user info. So this is preloaded po, as I mentioned. The RFO has already gathered all the information. We were able to check it na po. So on this part, we can edit this. So this is editable. So if meron pong cases na may mali pong spelling or we need to correct any information there, we can still do that here on this screen po, sa user info. So, Ma'am Leonora, pakicheck lang po, meron po ba tayong kailangan baguhin? May lahat po ba tama na?
Opo.
Okay, so Ma'am Leonora, approved naman po. Tama po lahat ng impormasyon. So we can now click on confirm. And also, before po mag-confirm, ipapakita yung review nung info ni Ma'am Leonora. So after that po, na successfully na pong nasend yung registration niya. So okay na po, na-onboard na po si Ma'am Leonora. So next po, may we call on Ma'am Shirley? Tama po ba? Ay, Cheryl. Sorry, Cheryl. So just like what we did earlier, we're just going to repeat the process. Okay, can we go back na po? Okay, so I'll be giving the SquidPay, or rather, I'll be confirming muna yung SquidPay account number and RSBSA number from the MAU po. So tama po ba yung details na binigay ni Ms. Cheryl? Alright, so we're ready to hand over these details to our EKYC specialist. So just like what we did earlier po, we just need to input all the account numbers that is presented or reflected in the paper. Alright, so we're going to move forward na po sa disbursement process.
Technically, the process should take only 10 to 15 seconds. So in a day, kaya po namin mag-EKYC. Basta maayos lang po natin yung pila, kompleto yung dokumento. We can process, one processor can already process about 400 to 500 farmers in a day. So mabilis po ito kasi preloaded na po. Can we show, pakita natin kay Sec, paano kung fake, walang tao, picture lang ang pinakita?
A still photo, ma'am?
Yeah,
Yes,
pwede
ma'am,
ba?
I think we can do that naman po. Alright, since you, Sir Jason already has a sample of the photo, we'll try po yung live photo. So di ba po dapat yung tao po talaga yung mapicturan? But for this case, for this scenario, we'll try it with a still photo. Okay, right now, Sir Jason is taking a
So
photo
ayaw
of it.
tanggapin, so kinapture.
Alright,
So,
so
if you
what
can
you see now,
hindi po nag-match kasi po technically sa kanya patay yun. Yung hindi patay dahil picture lang, di ba? So what it looks for is talagang buhay na tao. The technology we have for the EKYC looks at the depth and the glare of the eyes para lang ma-check kung totoong buhay yung tao. So hindi po pwedeng biglang may lumalabas na marami silang ID, sabay yung ID rin ang ginamit na pangkuha. So at the end, yung proseso po namin, it matches the ID using a technology matching the depth and the features of the face. So kahit na mahaba na yung buhok ni farmer or nakalbo na si farmer, nahuhuli rin yun nung technology namin. So it then matches the selfie or what we call the picture and the ID, and at the end it does the face match. In this case, we use the still photo and it says status, unverified status. Para for the comfort. So wala na pong hihigit dito, talagang tao po yung kailangan namin. Pati yung nakapikit, bawal. So kung, God forbid, wag namang cadaver ang ipakita, yon. So hindi rin pwedeng patay.
Alright, thank you so much, Ma'am May. So basically po, our system can differentiate a live photo from a still photo po. Okay, so we'll move forward na po to the merchant to the disbursement process po. So merchant login po. And then just like the onboarder login, he just needs to input the mobile number, the registered mobile number, as well as the password. So as soon as he logs in, he will receive a 4-digit one-time PIN as well. And then, pagka-input po, verify lang. And then, yung pong papel na pinakita po ng ating mga farmers, ipapakita po ulit nila sa rural bank agent natin para po ma-input nila yung account sa system or ma-check yung account sa system. So again po, yung account numbers natin, they're both 14 digits or they consist of 14 digits. Alright, so click on check validity. So another live photo taking po.
So ito po, pumunta na yung farmer sa bangko. Andyan na po yung may-ari ng bangko, si Lisa. So babantayan na niya yung teller. So yung teller po, using their mobile device, i-check, yan ba yung tao dun sa record? So kung tama yung record at nag-match, ayun po, lalabas, the status is successful.
So yun po, nag-match po yung live photo natin with the account po. So we will be showing you po a sample of the ID card or the farmer's ID that we pre-printed for demonstration purposes po.
Apo.
So
Before we do the ID purposes, can we kindly request the honorable presence of Secretary Dar and President Erbosa to join us here in a ceremonial handoff of the cards to our farmers, Sherilyn and Leonora.
Okay po, we'll move in front na lang po.
Gusto niyo photoan? Okay.
Yeah. Let us not forget our protocols po. Social distancing must be observed. So let us not crowd at the back.
Okay, maraming salamat po at sa ating kay May Arboleda Cuevas, President ng Squidpay and her team. Maraming salamat po. At kay Miss Cheryl Navarra ng Antipolo Rizal, ang ating pong mga magsasaka, si Leonora de la Cruz ng Veran Tanay. Maraming salamat po. Sila po ang kauna-unahang nakatanggap ngayon ng ID. Again, yan po, mahigit sa 1.5 million na nakalista. Pero tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ang pagpapalista sa RSBSA. Yan po. O more than 2 million ang covered po ng mga rice farmers below tilling 2 hectares and below. Yan po ang makakuha ng ayuda sa ating Rice Farmers Financial Assistance Program. Hatid sa atin ng ating Rice Tarification Law. Yan po. So, kindly seated po. At paki-observe lang po ang physical distancing natin. At again, we are streamed live here. So, next part of our program, QQ in, guys, ang ating message from Miss Maria Lourdes Arsenas ng Development Bank of the Philippines. Miss Arsenas.
Honorable Secretary of Agriculture, Dr. William Dar. Undersecretary Ariel Honorable Secretary of Agriculture, Dr. William Dar. Undersecretary Ariel Kayanan. Undersecretary Evelyn Lavinia. Undersecretary Cheryl Caballero. Undersecretary Samsamin Ampatuan. Assistant Secretaries of the Department of Agriculture, Senator Cynthia Villar, Congressman Mark Enverga, Rural Bankers Association of the Philippines President Elizabeth Timbol, Development Bank of the Philippines President Manny Herbosa, DBP colleagues, co-workers in government, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is an honor and privilege for me to be part of this auspicious event. On behalf of our DBP Board of Directors, we congratulate the Department of Agriculture on its 123rd anniversary since its beginnings established on June 23, 1898 by the First Philippine Republic. We greet the diligent men and women of the Department of Agriculture who persevere towards the continuing development of agriculture and fisheries in our country. Despite struggles amidst the COVID-19 pandemic, our Department of Agriculture pursues to implement action plans and solutions to ensuring our food security through innovation technology. We commend the leadership of Agriculture Secretary Dr. William Dar for the professionalism and dedication he brings to the Department of Agriculture. Your policy environment and action team nurture a sustainable and responsive agriculture and fisheries sector, ultimately improving the lives of our farmers and fisher folks. The Development Bank of the Philippines is a government-owned and controlled corporation with a public purpose, with a social mission to take care of the well-being of the Filipino people. The common good is the mandate of DBP more so today in this pandemic devastating economy that challenges us the Philippine government, and the entire Filipino citizenry. Towards this direction of common good, DBP is investing more in the rural countryside in partnership with the Rural Bankers Association of the Philippines and the National Commission on Indigenous People. As a development bank, DBP understands the needs of the countryside. DBP has been a Department of Agriculture partner in various programs, including the implementation of the expanded rice credit assistance under the Rice Competitiveness Fund and the Buy Anihan program that provide credit assistance to rice farmers and rice farmer cooperatives to cover working capital and capital expenditures. Recently, DBP launched the Swine Repopulation, Rehabilitation, and Recovery, or the Swine R3, to address the effects of the African swine fever and to develop biosecure facilities to mitigate similar outbreaks from occurrence. Today, DBP reaffirms its intensive partnership with the Department of Agriculture in the signing of this Memorandum of Understanding. This immediately sets up and implements the Rice Farmer Financial Assistance to provide compensation for the projected income loss of farmers due to the drop in palay prices in compliance with Presidential Directive Number 2 issued by President Rodrigo Duterte. The Memorandum of Understanding provides for the issuance of the Registry System for the Basic Sector in Agriculture, or the RSBSA Farmer ID Card with QR code. The Farmer ID Card facilitates the disbursement of the Rice Farmers Financial Assistance Cash Subsidy to rice farmers. But importantly, this Farmer ID Card is an invaluable tool to increase financial inclusion of farmers, particularly in the rural countryside. Financial inclusion provides farmers access to different financial services and the resilience to weather financial shocks. Our togetherness today reflects our whole nation and whole government commitment and determination to uplift a most vulnerable and marginalized group in our country, our farmers and fisher folks, who hold the key in ending hunger, achieving food security and improved nutrition, promoting sustainable rural livelihoods, and uplifting communities. Clearly, there remains more work to do in growing conservation agriculture and fisheries, organic farming, and integrated holistic practices towards increased food production and natural productivity. But it is still possible. My friends, it has been my privilege and pleasure to serve you, our beloved kababayans, as DBP Board Director. We, DBP, sincerely values your trust, your support. Let us together build the possibilities of sustaining life. Mabuhay ang Department of Agriculture. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. Mabuhay ang Pilipino.
This are Senas and Development
Salamat
Bank
po.
of the Philippines. Yan po. At Guru, bigyan din po natin daan para pagsalita naman ng ating Pangulo ng Development Bank of the Philippines, President and CEO Emmanuel Manny Herbosa. Boss.
Good morning, and thanks to all of all of us here present. This is a historic moment because on its 123rd anniversary, the Department of Agriculture under the leadership of Secretary William Dar has bequeathed a legacy to the Filipino people, particularly to our farmers, fisher folk, primary producers who have been neglected for all these many generations. And I'm very, very privileged to be here with him as well as our other partner, the leader of the rural banks today, Ms. Lisa Timbol. It is such a, they say serendipity, when everything comes together, all right? And what a more auspicious date than when the DA celebrates its 123rd. 1, 2, 3. And the numbers is escalating. It's like a growth trend, di ba? And those numbers will continue to increase and deliver even more value to our fisher folks and farmers. And what we're doing today with SquidPay through the e-wallet technology is very, very clearly how DA is applying digitalization to financial inclusion. And the presence of Ms. Lisa Timbol here also solidifies the engagement that DBP had always envisioned with the rural banks, truly as our partners. I was mentioning to Secretary Dar and Ms. Lisa that, you know, DBP's strategy is not anymore to increase its brick and mortar. We've consciously kept our brick and mortar, our branches to 150 na lang. Because I think that the most effective way for us is to truly partner in a very active and productive way the rural banks. Because the rural banks know best their community. Di ba? Nung araw yata, the rural bankers, correct me if I'm wrong, were the rich people in that community, sila nagpapautang. And they became bankers eventually of their own right. So who would not know the farmers themselves, but the rural banks? So it's DBP's role also aligned to its financial inclusion to ensure that the rural banks really thrive and prosper alongside all of us as we sustain and even enrich the farmers and the fisher folk. And it's a win-win situation. We've got the partners that will ensure the success beginning today. Actually, it began much earlier when we thought about this with Secretary Dar coming to office. And now we're actualizing this. And we are in a momentum that cannot be stopped. Because the only limit is up to how much effort and dedication we can put here for the welfare of our Filipino people, particularly the farmers and fisher folks, that finally now they're going to be the centerpiece. And it is good to be here, as they say. It is great to be here on this occasion in particular as we celebrate the DA's anniversary. And may I wish them many more years to come. And they will prosper because the farmers and fishers folks and the primary producers of this country will prosper. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Herbosa. These are indeed very exciting times with this technology, lalong-lalo na po for young farmers and young agripreneurs listening who want to found agribusinesses in the countryside. This is a very exciting technology for them.
Yes, Francis. At ito po, yan po ang first part ng ating program for today. So let's welcome po, may intermission tayo. We'll have 2 more parts. So again, let's welcome a Kulintang musical ensemble from our friends. So, pasok na po ang ito pong Kulintang group natin.
And as we listen to their music, we can relax a bit and partake of our meals.
And then, yes, yan po. Colorful costumes. Sige po. salamat po.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We are from NCMF Cultural Troupe. What the music you have heard today is the fusion traditional music from Kulintang of the three major tribes in Mindanao, the Maguindanao, Maranao, and I slightly Tauso. Thank you very much.
Maraming salamat po.
Ngayon naman po, ladies and gentlemen, on a more serious note, we will honor the frontliners or employees of the Department of Agriculture who have worked hard amidst the pandemic and sadly, naging victims po sila ng COVID-19. So we will be we will be showing you a tribute to the DA employees in recognition of their loyalty and other posthumous awards.
Run, please. It's an ABP.
The Department of Agriculture is the government agency responsible for the promotion of agricultural development in the country by providing the policy framework, public investments, and support services needed for domestic and export-oriented business enterprises. From its establishment in 1898 as Department of Agriculture and Manufacturing, it was renamed as Bureau of Agriculture under the Department of Interior, Bureau of Agriculture under the Department of Public Instruction, Department of Agriculture and Natural Resources, Department of Agriculture and Commerce, Ministry of Agriculture, and in 1987, finally named as Department of Agriculture. The department has now 8 bureaus, 8 attached agencies, and 8 attached corporations. Year after year, despite the name changes, the department has remained constant with its vision to help and empower the farmers, fisherfolk, and the private sector to produce enough, accessible, and affordable food for every Filipino. Today, as the country continues the battle against COVID-19, the department moves forward to enhance and strengthen its key strategies to ensure that there is available food for every Filipino family and efficient income for our food heroes. These strategies are put into action through the unified efforts of the men and women of the department who are committed to work hard for the country's food security, even with the threat of the pandemic. On its 123rd founding anniversary, the department not only celebrates its endurance and stability to the different challenges as it plays its vital role in the country's development, but also the strength, solidarity, commitment, and discipline of its agricultural frontliners who continue to address the issues and challenges that affect the productivity and profitability of the agriculture sector.
Sayang po. Pero we'd like to, can we ask everybody to stand up to observe a moment of silence for those who have left us because of this pandemic and other illnesses. And dear Miss Kamat Edres, Ferdinand Songko, Alfonso Fontanilla, Teresita Caragay, Archester Lissing, and a very good friend, a dear friend, Dakila Dak Spadua. May God grant their souls eternal peace. Maraming salamat. Okay, meron pa palang, ito pala, meron pong ABP for them. Kindly.
It's not how long we held each other's hand. What matters is how well we loved each other. It's not how far we traveled on our way, but what we found to say. Not the spring we've seen, but all the shades of green. It's not how long I held you in my arms. What matters is how sweet the years together. Not how many summertimes we had to give to fall. Early morning smile we tearfully recall. What matters most is that we love. Not how many summertimes we had to give to fall. Early morning smiles we tearfully recall. What matters most is that we love and all. What matters most is that we love and all.
May their souls rest in peace. So our prayers are with them today. At this juncture po, balik tayo sa ating pasinaya at ating selebrasyon. Tawagin po natin ngayon si Yusek Ariel Kayanan. Meron din po kaming award, hindi lang individual, kundi sa mga grupo. Anong grupo? Ibig sabihin, regional offices na napakagaling gumastos ng pera. Tama ba yun? Yusek Ariel, ikaw na. Ladies and gentlemen, Yusek Ariel Kayanan.
Thank you very much po, Sec Noel, Mr. Secretary. Ito pong susunod po nating ipapahayag ay napaka-importante po. Kanina lang po ay yung length or period of year that you stayed here. That's what we call anniversary. Ngayon naman po yung quality on how you stayed here. Di po ba? Tama yung kanta eh. It's not how long we have each other. What is important is how did you stay here and the quality on how did you stay here. Okay po, para lang po sa kalaman ng lahat, buod lang po, ito yung instruction ng kalihim so that we can measure. In engineering, sabi po natin, it's very hard to manage if you cannot measure. We have to measure your performance. And your performance, of course, is the direct and indirect contributory in how the, what they call department also perform. And of course, we always attribute it, while marami pong galama, yung leader po, yung pong nasa mga RFOs ay napaka-importante because your management and your leadership will define how did you perform. Meron po tayong mga tatlong major na component. Ang una po, ay tama yung sabi ni Sec Noel, gaano kayo kagaling gumasta. The financial performance. Kasi pag hindi po kayo nakagasta or hindi po ninyo na gamit yung inyong financial allocation, there is no chance that you will deliver. Pangalawa naman po, sa paggasta po ninyo, ay yung physical, paano nyo po i-deliver. Ibig sabihin, hindi nyo lang pinrocure, paano po nakarating sa ating mga stakeholders in every level, and how did they benefit from it. Ang tawag po natin dyan, your physical performance. And lastly po, of course, your oversights. When you say oversights, meron po kayong mga oversights in central office, of course, headed by no other than our servant leader, Secretary William Dar po. So, may 40% po yung physical nyo, may 40% yung financial, and the remaining 20 coming from your oversights po. Okay po. So, hindi ko na po pakahaba-habain, ay magpapa-assist po ako sa ating pong ginawa po nating processor. Kumbaga sa computer processor, Ase Carnelli ka rito. Para hindi lang ako sinisisi. Sabi nga po ng kalihim, for those, may apat po tayong classification, outstanding, yung pinakamataas. Very satisfactory po, yung pangalawa. Satisfactory, ang sabi po ng kalihim, tumama lang. Ibig sabihin, tama lang sa panlasa natin. At syempre po, yung hindi umabot doon, needs improvement. Okay po, palagi pong sinasabi ng kalihim, annual po ang ating performance. So for those who have actually taken that outstanding, I believe meron pong isa. Okay po, you have to keep doing it. You really have to hold it. Because that regional director sitting beside you will be eager to get it from you. Okay po. Yung pong naka-very satisfactory naman po, there's still some room for you to get the outstanding. Yung pong naka-satisfactory, hindi po porket pwede na, tama na, hindi nga po daw po pwede kay Sekretaryong pwede na. Kailangan masigit sa pwede na at tama lang. Yung needs improvement, ay kayo na pong bahalang magsabi kung anong dapat nyong gawin, medyo tagilid at alanganin po. Di po ba? Needs improvement, tinimbang ka ngunit kulang. Eh, sabi nga po natin dapat, pag tinimbang ka, tama o sobra, hindi po pwedeng kulang. Okay po, Ase Carnel, please.
Thank you, Yusek Ariel, ang ating pong boss operations. So, kagaya po ng nabanggit ni Yusek, may tatlong category, financial, physical, and overall performance. We will start with the financial performance of the region. We will be awarding the top 5 performing regions, starting with the top 5 financial performer, Cordillera Administrative Region. Ang pang-apat po ay ang Caraga, Region 13. Ang pangatlo po ay ang Northern Mindanao, Region 10. Ang pangalawa po sa financial ay ang Zamboanga Peninsula Region 9. At ang number 1 po sa financial performance also coming from the Mindanao region, ang SOC Sergeant or ang Region 12. Pumunta naman po tayo sa physical. Ang physical po yung nabanggit ni Yusek na nakapag-deliver po ng tamang interventions. Actually, mas mabigat po yung panuntunan namin pag physical. Ito po yung totoong nakakarating na po yung intervention sa ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda. So, ang nakakuha po ng top 5 sa physical performance ay ang Calabarzon o Regional Field Office 4A. Ang top 4 po ay ang Ilocos Region, Region 1. Ang top 3 po ay ang Bicol Region, Region 5. Bicol. Nandito po si Director Rodel Tornilla. Ang pangalawa po ay ang SOC Sergeant, Region 12. At ang number 1 sa physical, small but terrible, Director Narsing, Region 2, Cagayan Valley. So ngayon po naman ay paparangalan po natin ang overall, ang may pinakamagandang performance. Base po sa nakwenta kanina ni Yusek Ariel, 40% coming from financial, 40% from the physical, and 20% coming from the rating from the Secretary and the Operations. Ang number 5 po, at nahatulan din po na very satisfactory overall, ay ang Calabarzon Region. Ang pang-apat po, nakakuha rin ng very satisfactory, rank number 4 ay ang Central Luzon, Region 3. Ang pangatlo po, very satisfactory, rank number 3 overall ay ang Region 12, SOC Sergeant. At ngayon naman po, ang pangalawa, very satisfactory, pwede po naming maimbitahan sa harapan ang Regional Executive Director ng Bicol Region, Director Rodel Tornilla, para po personal na igawad ng ating kalihim, Secretary William Dar, ang certificate ng recognition to Regional Field Office number 5, Bicol Region, to be assisted by Undersecretary Ariel Cayanan. I-request ko na rin po si Yusek Ching Caballero, Yusek RV, Yusek Zam Ampatuan to assist the Secretary in giving the rank number 2 award and very satisfactory award to Director Rodel P. Tornilla of the Regional Field Office, Bicol Region. Congratulations, Director Rodel. At ang nakakuha po ng overall rank number 1 at siya lang po ang nakakuha ng outstanding performance for the period, ang Regional Field Office ng Cagayan Valley, Region 2, pinungunahan ng ating Regional Executive Director, Narciso Edilio. Congratulations po. Small but terrible. Makaka-receive din si Director Narsing ng award kay Secretary, certificate po. Baka mamaya bigyan din niya ng cash ni Yusek Ariel. So gagalingan pa ng Region 2. Sila lang po nakakuha ng 70% threshold overall. Congratulations po, Region 2 Cagayan Valley. Maraming salamat.
So maraming salamat, Yusek Ariel, Sec Arnel. Yan po, ang ating top performing regions. Yan po ang magiging basihan. At ating po yung hindi nabanggit ay kailangan naman ay magpursige, magpakilala sa mga susunod na taon. Ano ha? Abutin pa natin to. At so again, congratulations sa mga top performing regional offices ng Department of Agriculture. Tumungo naman tayo sa lighter side, Francis.
Yes, this is the very fun part of our anniversary celebrations today. The search for Mr. and Miss Annie at Kita 2021. So a little pageantry won't harm, no, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. No, parang dull. It's dull. All work and no play.
Yeah, oo. Fun kami dito sa DA. So the competition is divided into two parts. A creative shoot, ang ganda po niyan sa Facebook, makikita natin. And a talent portion. So talented din po ang mga tao dito sa DA. The creative shoot and talent entries of the candidates were posted on the DA's official Facebook page last June 18, 2021, Friday. So I'm sure po lahat ng mga representatives from the regional field offices, binoto po yung mga manok nila. So public votation for both the photos and videos started last June 19, 2021, 10 a.m. until June 21, 2021, 5 p.m. Very democratic pageant.
At ito po, yung search po ay open to all male and female DA permanent and coterminous employees, pati COS, lahat na po sa RFOs, Bureaus, Attached Agencies and Corporations. At ito po ang may rating po yan, 1 to 5. At ang contestants po ay naging judge nga po pala ako, isa sa mga judges. Kaya kahapon ay na-rush natin ang ating Ang breakdown po ng 100% ay 40% creative shoot component, 30% talent component, 10% originality, and 20% relevance. Yan po. At tatanggap po sila, no? May regalo na naman si Yusek Ariel, saka si Asek Arnel. Ang first ma-declare ay na pair, 7,000 pesos. Palakpakan po naman natin. Second place, 5,000. At ang pangatlo ay 3,000. Yan po. So, panoorin natin kung sino-sino po sila. At ito po ang nanalo. Ito na nga pala. Sa ang nanalo, papakita ba natin?
Mga pictures po.
Okay. Ang second runner-up, palakpakan po natin sa Region 9, Mr. Kevin Dorot and Miss Cyril Eve Cristoria. Yan po. Makakatanggap sila.
Congratulations! Ganda.
Silang dalawa. Wow!
Yes.
Sir, kasama na natin yan sa mga
Maganda po yung mga photoshoots talaga nila. As in, career na career.
Si Mr. Annie at si Miss Kita. O baliktad. Si Mr. Kita, si Miss Annie.
Kahit sino naman siguro doon, sir. Ano
Yan po.
tayo? Gender neutral.
Okay, yan po sila. And then, first runner-up, Region 12, SOC Sergeant, Mr. Raymar Nunez and Miss Marela Rospe Waman.
Nice.
Wow, congratulations. They'll be receiving 5,000 pesos. Congratulations. At ang grand winner from Region 10, Northern Mindanao, Mr. Paulo Diputado and Miss Maria Lourdes Sipieco.
Actually, meron pong video yung talent portion nila. So, it will be very interesting to see it. Papakita po namin ngayon para makita nyo kung gaano sila ka-deserving.
Nako, napakaagang Christmas bonus mula kay Secretary para i-round off daw niya. Na ano kasi, 7, 5, 3. Ngayon, gagawin niyang 10, 7, and 5. Wow, congratulations!
Wow!
So, ang first prize, makakatanggap galing kay Sec Interest. 7 naman sa 7,000 sa ating second placer at 5,000 naman sa third placer. Maraming salamat po.
Thank
Congratulations
you, Mr.
sa
Secretary.
mga nanalo. Mr. Ani,
At
Miss
ngayon
Kita.
Panoorin po
Mr.
natin
Ani
yung
at
grand
Kita.
talent portion ng grand winners, si Mr. Paulo Miguel Deputado and Miss Maria Lourdes Sipieco.
Maayat na aldaw, gikan sa Region 10.
Sa Amihang, Mindanao. with vast land, filled with agricultural bounties.
And one of which is our very own sweet pineapple. I am Paulo Miguel Diputado.
I'm Maria Lourdes Mercado Sipeco, representing Region 10.
Ganda! Mindanao represent. Ay, hindi, may talent pa, sir.
Okay na, okay na. Sige, maraming salamat po. So again, congratulations sa pair na yan, si Paulo at si Lourdes, si Peco. You'll be receiving 10,000 pesos.
Region 10.
Congratulations. Alam mo ba, Francis, nung kakaikot namin ng secretary sa meron pang pa-contest dapat kasama din yun, yung Ani at Kita dance. Di ba? Yung parang, anyway, sa December natin gagawin yun. Hindi, lahat sila.
Parang on the spot yan.
Ladies and gentlemen, in all our regional visits, meron pong may dance yung Ani at Kita jingle. Yung mga all DA employees. Oo. So, yun ang susunod na contest natin, ha? Sa December.
Dapat career din po yan.
Mag-iipon
Dance
din ako
contest
para
na yan.
pandagdag. Sa premyo. Okay. So again, ito na po ang ating mga serious, part 3 na po ito sa mga messages natin. At ito po, papakinggan natin ang ating mga strong supporters from the Congress of the Philippines, specifically from the House of Representatives and Senate of the Philippines. First, we'll be hearing a message from our dear friend, Congressman Mark Enberga, the chairperson of the House Committee on Agriculture and Food, representing the 1st District of Quezon.
Hi, good morning. Asik, thank you very much, Asik Noel and Asik Christine, our masters of ceremony. Can I be heard clearly?
Yes, you are. Yes, we're hearing you clearly.
Thank you. Thank you very much. To the Honorable Secretary William Dar, the Honorable Senator Cynthia Villar, Chairperson of the Senate Committee on Agriculture and Food, Yusek Zamzamin Ampatuan, Chairperson of the National Steering Committee on the 123rd Day DA Anniversary Celebration, Yusek Ariel Kayanan, Yusek Evelyn Lavinia, Yusek R.B. Becerra, Yusek Cheryl Marie Caballero, Asek Arnel De Mesa, the rest of the DA family, ladies and gentlemen, magandang araw po sa ating lahat.
Sige po. Nawala po ang audio nyo. Nawala ang audio, Kong Mark.
Can I be heard now, Asik Noel?
Yes.
Thank you. Pasensya po at medyo may technical difficulty sa service provider po natin.
Okay, please.
Magandang araw po. Thank you very much. Magandang araw po sa ating lahat. It is truly a pleasure to join you in the celebration of your 123rd anniversary. It is also a special honor to be able to speak on behalf of the House of Representatives, Committee on Agriculture and Food. Let me first express my warmest congratulations to the DA family as you celebrate your anniversary celebration. For this year's celebration, let me first acknowledge and give due recognition to the men and women of the Department of Agriculture who are, despite the threats of COVID-19, always persevering and laboring to help the government's efforts to mitigate the impact of the pandemic and to ensure the availability, affordability, accessibility, and price stability of food supply during the enhanced community quarantine. Since day one, DA's men and women have been in the forefront working doubly hard and making sure that they live up to their sworn duties, risking their lives and those of their loved ones. Ako po ay taus-pusong nagpapasalamat sa ating pong lahat. Allow me to dedicate this 123rd anniversary of DA to all of you. The partnership that the House of Representatives, through the Committee on Agriculture and Food, that was formed with the department, gives me so much pride and honor. A partnership built on mutual respect and a lot of hard work. Pakikipagkaisa tungo sa isang layunin na may angat ang ating pong pambansang agrikultura. Congress is one with the DA to realize the Duterte administration's goal of a food-secure and resilient Philippine agriculture with empowered farmers and fisher folk. Together, we can make that goal a reality. We can make it happen. Secretary William Dar said that soil is the foundation of agriculture. We must therefore protect, preserve, and nurture it to sustainably produce adequate, affordable, and nutritious food for all Filipinos. I say our farmers and fisher folk are the heart of the Philippine agriculture, and we must therefore strengthen our partnership with them and include them as partners in all areas of development. Together, we will use this resilience to continue working hard in ensuring that our country will sustain a stable recovery from the pandemic. The challenges are great, but with the support of all stakeholders, we are assured that we just not try to get things right, but we are getting things done as well. With OneDA, patuloy na nagkakaisa upang iangat ang pambansang agrikultura, let us keep our focus, do our share, join our hands together, and pray that this too shall pass. And we will surely come out as better servants of our people. Nais ko pong batiin, lalo tigit po yung ating pong mga sisikap na mga awardee sa araw na ito. Thank you again for this opportunity. Happy anniversary and good day to all of you.
Maraming salamat po. Palakpakan po natin si Congressman Mark Inverga.
Thank you, sir.
At this point, we'll be hearing a message from our dear supporter, strong one, Senator Cynthia Villar, the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Agriculture and Food, Senate of the Philippines.
To all, I would like to congratulate the Department of Agriculture on the occasion of its 123rd anniversary. Established in 1898, the nearly as old as the Philippine independence, indeed it has gone a very long way in being a farmers and fisher folks ally in providing adequate, accessible, and affordable food to every Filipino family and adequate income to farmers. Food security and rural poverty alleviation are still our two biggest challenges. The Philippines has a land area of 30 million hectares, 47% of which is agricultural land, and has a population of 110.6 million. Farmers and fishermen remain the poorest of the poor according to the latest data from the Philippine Statistics Authority. These sectors recorded the highest poverty incidences in 2015 at 34.3% and 34% respectively. Poverty remains a mainly rural phenomenon. Poverty levels are strongly linked to educational attainment, deficient targeting in various poverty programs. Many Filipino households remain vulnerable to shocks and risks. That is why I work for the passage of the following. Number 1, the Rice Tarification Law, or Republic Act 11203, which has a 6-year rice competitiveness enhancement fund program of 10 billion a year that gives 50% for rice farmers and their association and cooperatives in their absence, the LGU, with farm machineries and equipment implemented by PhilMec. 30% provision for inbred rice seeds production in rice-producing provinces through PhilRice. 10% credit from Land Bank and DBP to implement, and 10% for extension trainings to be implemented by TESDA, the Agricultural Training Institute, PhilMec, and PhilRice for rice farmer to be competitive and to earn more. Number 2, President Duterte signed Republic Act number 11524, or the Coconut Farmers and Industry Trust Fund Act, crafted to develop the coconut industry using recovered cocoa levy assets, which were declared state-owned by the Supreme Court less than 10 years ago. The new law mandates the Philippine Coconut Authority to craft the Coconut Farmers and Industry Development Plan that will set the direction and policies for the development and rehabilitation of the industry. It mandates the Bureau of Treasury to infuse 10 billion to the trust fund in the first year of its implementation and progressively up to 25 billion in the 5th year to fund the development plan. Specific in the law is where the funds would go. 20% for the development of hybrid coconut seed farms and nursery for planting and replanting to be implemented by the Philippine Coconut Authority and the Department of Science and Technology. 8% for training of farmers and their families on coconut production and technologies, including intercropping and processing, to be implemented by the Agricultural Training Institute and TESDA. 5% for research, marketing, and promotion to be implemented by the Bureau of Small and Micro-Medium Enterprise Development of the Department of Trade and Industry. 4% for crop insurance to be implemented by the Philippine Crop Insurance Corporation. 10% for farm improvements through diversification or intercropping through the National Dairy Authority, DA High Value Crops, DA Bain Native Animals Program to be shared equally. 10% for shared facilities for processing by PhilMec. 5% for organizing and empowerment of coconut farmers organization and their cooperatives to be implemented by the Cooperative Development Authority. 10% for credit programs to be shared equally by Land Bank and DBP. 10% for infrastructure development in coconut-producing local governments to be implemented by DPWH. Prioritizing the use of coconut's bioengineering solution in slope stabilization in the construction of roads and other applicable projects. 8% for scholarship program for farmers and their families to be implemented by CHED. 10% for health and medical program for farmers and their family to be implemented by PCA, thereby creating a special unit in the agency for this purpose. This is in addition to the universal health care law implemented by PhilHealth, which provides that all Filipinos are guaranteed equitable access to quality and affordable health care, goods and services, and protected against financial risk. To address the plight of small rice farmers, I also passed in the Senate a bill, or SB number 1927, an act authorizing the Department of Agriculture to use the annual tariff revenue in excess of 10 billion under Republic Act 11203 for direct cash assistance to farmers owning 1 hectare or less of rice land until 2024. This is still pending with the House of Representatives since December 9, 2020. I would also like to report the growth of farm schools all over the country is attributed to 2 pieces of legislation that I authored. Republic Act 10816, or the Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016, which encourages the conversion of farms into tourist farms and learning sites, and Republic Act 11203, or the law that created the 10 billion Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund, which mandated a special role for farm schools as venues of extension services program in the soon-to-be-released Directory of Farm School, Tourist Farms, and Learning Sites in the Philippines. The list now has 2,791 sites from all 17 regions. Our first edition of the book contains just 386 farms. Imagine how many farm owners derive additional income from their farms from ATI and TESDA through scholarship, and how many farmers have been trained in the process. Number 5, in 2016, I also passed the IUUF law, or RA 10654, an act to prevent, deter, and eliminate illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing, amending Republic Act number 8550, otherwise known as the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998, and for other purposes. This is to ensure the rational and sustainable development, management, and conservation of the fishery and aquatic resources in the Philippine waters. With this law, we are able to address the sustainability of our oceans and the livelihood of our fishermen in the municipal water. It also helped the Philippines diversify trade, increase exports, and attract foreign direct investment. The law sanctions IUUF for a more deterrent effect. This resulted in the lifting of the yellow tag on Philippine fish imports. If not addressed, the yellow tag would have caused a ban on Philippines to export fish products to Europe, one of the largest markets. It also caused the inclusion of the country in the European Commission's General Scheme of Preference Plus, and allowed duty-free entry of over 6,000 Philippine products to Europe. The law provides for the creation of the Fisheries Management Fund from the fines and penalties collected. 65% of the fund will provide livelihood, shared facilities program, and scholarship program to fisher folks and their families. And 35% shall be for the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources for fishery law enforcement. The law recognizes the threat overfishing that may lead to the collapse of the fishing sector as a source of livelihood. The BFAR should establish hatcheries and fish landing facilities to prevent this from happening. Number 6, the establishment of fisheries and hatcheries all over the Philippines together with fish landing facilities are local legislation which I passed to promote the fishing industry. Hatcheries can help stabilize fish population and allow fishing operators to continue by providing available fries or fingerlings to them. Fish landing facilities, on the other hand, aim to reduce the cost of fish collection and sales, upgrade the socio-economic status of small-scale fishing communities by demonstrating the operational capability of fishermen's cooperative, and the establishment of an integrated fish marketing system able to supply good quality fish through the provision of basic fishery infrastructure. Number 7, also in 2016, I passed Republic Act 10848, an act further extending the period of implementation of the Agricultural Competitiveness Enhancement Fund, or ACEP, amending for the purpose Republic Act number 8178. The funds were earmarked as follows: 80% in the form of credit with reasonable interest, 5 million for the acquisition and establishment of agri-based production and post-production and processing machineries, equipment, and facilities to achieve modern agricultural practices to be extended to Filipino Farmers and Fisher Folks Association and Cooperative and micro and small-scale enterprises in agricultural production, farming, fisheries, agribusiness, and similar activities, and not to exceed 1 million pesos to individual farmers and fishermen to finance the purchase of farm inputs, equipment, or for farm improvement. The Land Bank of the Philippines shall manage the credit facility. 10% as grants for research and development of agriculture and fishery products and the commercialization of such, including the upgrading of research facilities of qualified state universities and colleges, which shall not exceed 5 million pesos per project, and 10% to be used for the funding of a comprehensive and attractive grant-in-aid program for agriculture, forestry, fisheries, and veterinary medicine education to be implemented by the Commission on Higher Education. Number 8, RA 10659, or the Sugar Industry Development Act, for the 700,000 plus sugar farmers to boost the production of sugarcane and sugar and increase the income of sugarcane farmers or planters and farm workers by allocating 2 billion a year, which 15% for grants to black farms under the Black Farm Program, 15% for socialized credit under Farm Support and Farm Mechanization Program, 15% for research and development, capability building, and technology transfer activities under Research and Development Extension Services, Human Resource Development, and Farm Support Program, and 5% for scholarship grants to be provided under Section 6, Human Resource Development, and 50% for infrastructure support programs. Number 9, free irrigation, or RA 10969, which exempts the payment of irrigation service fee to smallholder farmers owning up to 8 hectares of land. Number 10, amendment to the Organic Agriculture Act, or RA 106.8, introduced the participatory guarantee system to promote and develop the organic industry and a great help to small farmers producing organic products who cannot afford the expensive third-party certification that will cost not more than 2,000 per year per certification compared to the third-party certification of 150,000 per year. More Filipinos should have access to healthy and safe farm products and for environmental protection. Number 11, the agricultural smuggling as economic sabotage, or RA 10645, was passed in 2016 to protect locally produced goods and prevent the presence of smuggled product with unjustly lower price in the market, making our small and subsistence farmer impossible to compete. Number 12, Philippine Halal Export Development and Promotion Act, or RA 10817, calls for the creation of a Philippine Halal Accreditation and Regulatory Board, which would ensure that food items served to Muslims in the country are prepared strictly according to what their faith requires, ensure compliance with international standard, and to be able to capture the international market. Number 13, I have also included in my legislative agenda the development of the dairy industry, cacao and coffee industry development, and the promotion of healthy soil. That is why I am working closely with the Philippine Carabao Center, the National Dairy Authority, the DA High Value Crop Program, and the Bureau of Soils and Water Management. And number 14, as chair of the Committee on Agriculture and Food, my committee has congressional oversight function over the Department of Agriculture. Congressional oversight is one of the most important responsibilities of legislator. It refers to looking into its budget, programs, policy implementation, and it provides the legislative branch with an opportunity to inspect, examine, review, and check the agencies concerned. The authority of Congress to do oversight is derived from its express power in Article 6, Section 21 of the 1987 Constitution. This is to ensure compliance with legislative intent. It ensures the efficiency, effectiveness, economy, and evaluation of governmental programs. It ensures that executive policies reflect the public interest. Let us continue to work together to ensure that our common goal of human capital development, elimination of rural poverty, and social progress is fully realized. With that, happy anniversary, God bless, and stay safe.
Maraming salamat po, Senator Cynthia Villar. Siya po ang matriarch ng Philippine agriculture sa dami ng mga legislative works na ginawa niya through the years. Yan po. So again, maraming salamat po on behalf of Secretary William Dar and Department of Agriculture family, si Senator Cynthia Villar.
And now, on our 123rd anniversary, we will be launching a special music video, Agrikultura sa Gitna ng Pandemya. And I'd like to give a special shout out to Mr. Dale Roseth Gabanes, who wrote the lyrics to this song. And
Siyempre po, nilapatan ng music ni Noel Cabangon. Yan po ang pangatlong nagawa niya for the Department of Agriculture. The first being the DA hymn, the second, the Ani at Kita jingle, at ito po, pakinggan po natin, napakaganda. Ibig sabihin nito, pandemya man o wala, ang ating mga magsasaka at mangingisda ay patuloy na nagtatrabaho para mabigyan tayo ng maganda. Maraming pagkain, affordable na pagkain. So, yan po.
please enjoy our little ballad for the farmers and fishers.
Katulad ng isang munting punla kung saan ang lahat ay nag-umpisa. Pagsusumikap ng mga magsasaka ay tiyak at tunay na magbubunga. Mangingisdang nasa bangka, paglusob sa alon ay di alintana. Hanggang ang kaginhawaan ay malambat at makaangat ng lamang dagat na sapat. Agrikultura sa gitna ng pandemya, umaahon at patuloy na bumabangon upang maghain ng sapat na pagkain tungo sa tuloy-tuloy na pag-angat natin. May pandemya man o wala, magsasaka at mangingisda, maaasahan ng buong bansa. May pandemya man o wala, buhay ang agrikultura. At kahit na ano pa mang sakuna, di patitinag at mananatiling matatag. Sa sikat ng araw o bugso ng ulan, tirik ang init o bumabaha man. Ngunit pawis at lakas kailan may di kakalas, matiyak lang na may liwanag ang bukas. Agrikultura sa gitna ng pandemya, umaahon at patuloy na bumabangon upang maghain sapat na pagkain tungo sa tuloy-tuloy na pag-angat natin. May pandemya man o wala, magsasaka at mangingisda, maaasahan ng buong bansa. May pandemya man o wala, buhay ang agrikultura. At kahit na ano pa mang sakuna, di patitinag at mananatiling. May pandemya man o wala, magsasaka at mangingisda, maaasahan ng buong bansa. May pandemya man o wala, buhay ang agrikultura. At kahit na ano pa man sakuna, di patitinag at mananatiling matatag. Wow.
Sekretary, magbibigay na naman ng premyo. Pero mga kaibigan, sa mga nakikinig ngayon sa virtual, yung mga regional offices po, ito, pa-contest na naman natin ni Secretary. Yung pong mga Ani at Quito, yan, mga major dialects po, dapat i-translate natin Ilocano, Cebuano, Ilonggo, ano pa ba? Marami. Yan po. So, ayan. Open na po ang, ayusin namin po yung guidelines, contest guidelines, at ipapamumudmud po natin within the week.
May kasama rin po bang sayaw yan, sir?
Ay, iba. Iba pa yun. Iba pa yung pa-contest na yun. Yung Ani at Kita jingle, di ba? Yan, ongoing na yun eh. Ipa-formalize natin yung contest para sa December natin na Thanksgiving celebration. At this point, napakahaba ng ating programa, Francis, at ito na sa ating patapos na. At again, ladies and gentlemen, sa mga nandito physically and virtually, let us welcome our servant leader, Secretary William Manong Willie Dao.
Sige po. Maraming salamat, Assistant Secretary Noel Reyes, sa lahat po na mga undersecretaries na nandito. This year's celebration is chaired by Yusek Sam Ampatuan. Palakpakan po natin. Nandyan din ang ating Yusek for Fisheries and Agri-Industrialization, Ching Natividad. Palakpakan po natin. Ay nandito isang mahalagang kaibigan po natin sa Rural Banking of the Philippines. Siya ang presidente ng RBAP, yung Rural Bankers Association of the Philippines. Palakpakan natin si President Lisa Timbol. At this early, ay interesado na ang kanyang daughter to manage a number of the rural banks. They are branching out and even buying new rural banks. Si Elaine Timbol, nandito kasama niya. Nung wala pang COVID, na papanood ninyo si Elaine. Saan? Sige nga, saan ninyo napapanood si Elaine? Sa Wawawi. Wawawi. Okay, palakpakan po natin ang ating mga assistant secretaries nandito, Asek Jane Bacayo, General Lasiste, Commodore Ed Gungunap Bipar, si mga directors nandito, si Miss si Joey Villarmino, no? Jay Villarmino ng 4Ks, yung mga dalawang talaga naman I salute these two regional directors who are here who just received their awards, okay? Ang pinaka-outstanding among 15 regional field offices ay ang Cagayan Valley, headed by Director Nars Idilio. Palakpakan po natin. Nandyan din ang pangalawa, nasabi na kanina ni Yusek Ariel at Asek Arnel, na iisa lang nandun sa outstanding category. Mayroon 7 doon sa pangalawa na kategorya, very satisfactory. 7 sila. Pero ang number 1 doon ay ang Bicol Region, headed by Red Rodel Tornilla. So, ayaw ko banggitin yung mga iba pa kasi there is time for everything. I will meet with all the regional executive directors in due time, anytime now, para pag-usapan natin bakit kuya, o bakit ate ay hindi ba natin magawang tularan yung nandun sa very satisfactory or dun sa outstanding. So I will challenge the regional executive directors in a session. And nandito rin na advisor natin, si former Yusek Ross Bistoyong. Palapakan po natin. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, magandang 123rd anniversary of the Department of Agriculture. Palakpakan natin ang kagawaran ng pagsasaka. Ito I have 20 pages of speech today. Ako kaya ko siguro set this aside but forming part of the record, pero sayang din kasi nandito yung parang ano na yung nagawa ng kagawaran ng pagsasaka, mas lalo na itong ilan buwan na nandito tayo sa kagawaran ng pagsasaka as the servant leader. You are aware na ako ay started serving August 5 of 2019. So, pag end of July next month, ay 2 years of service to the country, mas lalo na sa ating mga magsasaka, mangingisda, at ang mga agripreneurs. Today marks the 123rd anniversary of the Philippine Revolutionary Government that made us a nation. 123 years ago, our founding fathers fought their way out of the chaos of war to create a new government and a new republic. 11 days after declaring Philippine independence on June 12, 1898, then President Emilio Aguinaldo created his first cabinet and major government agencies, including the Department of Agriculture and Manufacturing. This was aimed to secure the blessings of progress and freedom for a new nation. Today, the Department of Agriculture reaffirms its strong commitment to that cause to achieve new objectives given the challenges of the times. For instance, these almost past 2 years were not easy for us for the sector of agriculture and for the nation as a whole. We have seen our vulnerabilities. We meet today recovering from one of the most catastrophic health crises the modern world has ever known, the COVID-19. Community quarantines and lockdowns have put into doubt the livelihoods of countless farmers, fishers, and their families. The department also lost some of our brothers and sisters to COVID-19, and again, may they rest in peace. But bravely and with steadfast confidence in the future, we are on the path to recovery. As the pandemic began to take its toll on our economy, our first and most urgent task was to shore up the entire value chain. This we accomplished by deploying more resources and manpower behind the Duterte administration's food security development framework. Within this framework, we held for food prices at bay and kept the roads open for the transport of farm and fishery products into the nation's population centers. We oversaw emergency public investments amounting to 8.5 billion pesos for rice seeds and fertilizers of nearly 1.3 million farmers under the national government's Bayanihan 1 program. We received another 9.1 billion pesos to fund a stimulus package for more than 800,000 farmers and 3,500 farm organizations under the same emergency program. In addition, we secured 31 billion pesos in supplementary public investments for the Plant program, a nationwide effort to ensure that every family in this country has access to adequate and affordable food throughout the COVID crisis. With a smoother flow of credit, training, farm inputs, and support, farmers were able to continue their endeavors. More families were able to secure agricultural loans. More local governments were able to provide basic extension services. Businesses along the value-adding supply chain or food systems were able to stock their shelves and meet their payrolls. We were pleased by these results. We were gratified, but we can challenge ourselves much more. Despite this record of achievement, we continue to build on the foundations that we started. Then came the second phase of the Bayanihan program, which is almost over, but we hope it could be extended. We have invested close to 24 billion pesos to improve rural incomes, widen access to affordable credit, and help farmers and fishers increase their production and revenues. It included projects to create jobs and encourage investments in rural enterprises. It also provided impoverished farm families with relief under a nationwide social protection program. As we all know, much needed jobs are created, and when the rural economy prospers. The rural economy prospers, and subsequently, more Filipinos have more money to spend and invest. And the best way to make sure rural folk have money is to support farming, fishing, and rural enterprises. For 2 years now, a severe outbreak of African swine flu has slashed revenues across countless hog farms and rural businesses. We have responded to this crisis by establishing a practical way of doing, quarantine or the protocols to control the spread of the disease, like culling affected swine populations. And as of last month, we had paid hog raisers more than 1.5 billion pesos to compensate for their losses. On another front, more than 5,000 Filipino corn farmers are better equipped and trained to control and prevent fall armyworm infestations. We continue to protect affected cornfields nationwide. We have already made progress towards this end, investing almost 500 million pesos to provide farmers with the tools and training they need to rid their fields of this destructive pest. For rice in particular, this was admittedly a difficult necessity, one that involved a rearrangement of both our legislative priorities and our development policies. Nonetheless, our record of achievement under this necessary rearrangement is again expressed in gratifying numbers, now having the highest record in rice production of 19.4 million metric tons last year, equivalent to 90% sufficiency. We are looking at increasing it this year to 20.4 million metric tons for a 93 to 95% sufficiency level. Overall, nearly 3 million farmers from 57 provinces have received government assistance and support under the Rice Competitiveness Enhancement Fund. In only 5 years, we have seen to the distribution of more than 22 million kilograms of hybrid seeds for more than 1 million rice farmers nationwide under the National Rice Program alone. We likewise distributed well over 74 million kilograms of inbred seeds to another 1.2 million farmer beneficiaries. All these seeds have enabled our rice farmers produce quality and affordable rice for consumers. But our farmers need more than just top quality seeds to compete. Throughout our history, public investments in infrastructure have literally propelled our country and society into the future. Between 2016 and May 2021, this department, in coordination with the Department of Public Works and Highways and the Philippine Rural Development Project, saw to the construction of 4,100 kilometers of bridges and farm-to-market roads across the archipelago. We helped expand the country's irrigation networks, constructing new irrigation systems for some 51,000 hectares of prime farm lands over the same time frame. We also gave some 35,700 communities and organizations better earning opportunities by building nurseries, seed storage facilities, stock farms, school gardens, greenhouses, feed mills, and post-harvest facilities. I can say with pride that these almost 2 years that we have been here, we have the biggest infrastructure investment ongoing today. Okay. In 2016, the department embarked on a massive program to mechanize and modernize the Filipino agriculture sector. We have pursued this objective aggressively over the past 5 years, and we have done so without watering down our emphasis on job creation and human resources. As of May this year, we had seen to the distribution of more than 10,000 units of modern farm machineries and equipment to benefit nearly 3,400 farmers, cooperatives, and associations. Consequently, we have also trained 82,000 farmers, seed growers, and extension workers in the use of these machineries in conjunction with yield-enhancing technologies for rice production. Machinery and training are all vital to agricultural progress, but extending hope and opportunity in the countryside likewise demands a financial system worthy of Filipino farmers with regulations that are fair and responsive to their needs. Again, as of May this year, the Land Bank of the Philippines has granted zero interest, no collateral loans through the ACPC amounting to 1.87 billion pesos to over 6,000 farmers and 99 FCAs nationwide. These loans have allowed farmers to continue their endeavors despite the many challenges of their vocation. They have encouraged the creation of new rural enterprises, which in turn have permitted local economies to grow and flourish. Over the past years, particularly this almost 2 years, our flagship marketing program, the Kadiwa ni Ani at Kita, have helped small communities surmount hunger and poverty both in rural and urban areas. In the process, Kadiwa retail facilities generated nearly 8 billion pesos in profits for small entrepreneurs and farm organizations, even as they ensured adequate food for the poorest communities in the country. The department's commitment to that people-centered principle is just as clearly demonstrated in its programs for the fisheries sectors as well. Some 43,700 impoverished fisherfolk and 432 coastal communities have benefited from our distribution of fiberglass reinforced plastic boats over the last 5 years. The PFDA, meanwhile, maintained 9 regional peace ports to serve the needs of some of the poorest fisher communities in the country. We have invested equal attention to our support services for the coconut sector, providing cash incentives and seedlings for over 198,000 farmers. These farmers, in turn, contributed to the growth of our exports, planting an additional 36.6 seedlings in the farmlands in the coconut industry. At the same time, the Philippine Coconut Authority provided fertilizers to rehabilitate around 200,000 farmers of land already devoted to coconut production. We look forward to the efficient use of the coconut levy through the Coconut Industry and Farmers Trust Fund. So, what's our way forward? How do we rebuild better this time around? Ladies and gentlemen, friends, we worked tirelessly together over these 5 years of the Duterte administration. Now we must once again endeavor with increased urgency, not just to to rebuild our economy, but to rebuild it for the better. The road to progress will not be without pitfalls and hazards. It will demand discipline, hard work, and sustained unity and cooperation. It will require a renewed sense of responsibility from every man and woman in this agency. Hindi tayo dapat mag-aalinlangan tungkol sa kahalagaan ng ating mga pananagutan sa sambayanan dahil ang malalaking gantimpala ay hindi ipinagkakaloob sa mga nag-aalangan at sa mga talunin. Okay? We must have the winner's attitude. And this morning, the launching of the RSBSA Farmers ID card is such a monumental and historic activity which will really, give us more efficiencies in terms of giving the social protection programs to the farmers and fishers. And not only that, for any of the government interventions, we will use properly and systematically the ID cards of every farmer or fisher. Now, I'm challenging everyone, every unit, every bureau, attached agency, corporation, and regional field office of this department, for us to be better this time around, is to improve implementation of the plans and programs and projects that we have today. If we do much better in terms of proper and timely implementation of such programs, then the outputs, the outcomes, and the impacts will be much, much higher. So, palagi kami nag-interact kay Senator Cynthia Villar, at ang palagi niyang sinasabi po sa atin ay, while you may need additional resources, it is also good for us to show the world, the country, that we in the Department of Agriculture can better use properly the resources already obtaining in our department. So the big I call this the big I. Hindi lang maliit na implementation, but big I. We should put in our, attention and focus implementation in a big way. Properly done, as I've said, there will be more outcomes, there will be more impacts, there will be more farmers who will have more, productivity and more income at the end of the day. Sapagkat tayo ay isang bansang bumabangon at nagpapaunlad, marami tayong pangangailangan. Dahil dito, ang kailangan natin ay tapang at dakilang pagsisikap base doon sa ating bisyon na a food secure and resilient Philippines with prosperous and empowered farmers and fishers and the national directions. Kaya't habang sinusuri natin ang mga hamon sa hinaharap, isang bagay lamang ang dapat nating tandaan. Hindi tayo mabibigo. Let me repeat, hindi tayo mabibigo sa kagawaran ng pagsasaka. We will rise as OneDA and we will rise as one nation. We will rise as one Philippines. Maligaya at makabuluhang pagdiriwang ng ating ikasandaan at 23 taong anibersaryo. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay ang kagawaran ng pagsasaka.
Maraming salamat po, Secretary William Manong Willie.
and of course ARBA President Isa Bugol, and everybody present in today's online session on the celebration of the 123rd DA anniversary celebration. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Earlier, while listening to our dear Secretary William Dar, and from the messages delivered by our partners, as well as the tribute given to DA achievers, I would like to share with you this important quote. And I quote, we are each other's harvest, we are each other's business, we are each other's magnitude and bond. This captures the spirit of the 123rd DA anniversary celebration. At this juncture of the existence and history of the Department of Agriculture, extra efforts are being exerted to strengthen cooperation and partnerships, to fast-track modernization and industrialization, and professionalize the agency. Under the astute leadership of our Secretary, through the new thinking of the Department of Agriculture, all this have required recalibration so that we can proceed with improved service reach to the farthest places in the Philippines. We are proud of our progress. To sustain, if not accelerate our pace, though, we must keep building unity. We continue to stamp the silos and imbibe integrity and transparency. Let us find ways in coming days, weeks, months to translate the basic foundation of unity, solidarity, and teamwork for UST. Let us strengthen cooperation among the cooperating units and look forward to a better service with passion. A solid team can deliver under the OneDA, a united agency with clear goals and a culture of cooperation that can set higher goals and multiply the department's contribution in terms of increased rural incomes, food security, and larger share in the Philippine economy. Thank you at mabuhay po tayong lahat.
So that's it for our celebration for today. Thank you so much to all the DA officials, to the Office of Music and Patuloy for organizing this, for all the Facebook followers of the Department of Agriculture for tuning in today, and of course our farmers and fishers in the regions